Suffering and persecution have marked the lives of many Christians, especially those in the early church. Those believers who remain faithful to Jesus, doing what is right, even in the midst of oppressive rulers, hostile cultural environments, even hateful neighbors and countrymen. It is in this suffering and persecution that the Apostle Peter writes to the believers. He encourages them to do what is right and not repay evil for evil. Though in modern times we may not always experience suffering and persecution to the same extent as those in the early church, there are still believers who live under oppressive rule and environments hostile to the gospel. Even though we may not suffer to that same extent, we can still learn from the scriptures and apply to our lives when we do inevitably face hardships. How should our mindsets be when we face suffering and persecution? Well, the Apostle Peter says we should not be surprised at the fiery ordeals which come upon us as if it was something strange. 1 Peter 4:12. Brothers and sisters, we will face trials and hardships because we are followers of Jesus Christ. Matthew 10:22 and John 16:33. In light of this, we should be sure our suffering is not a result of wrongdoing on our part, like murder, theft, gossip, etc., but rather for bearing the name of Christ. 1 Peter 4 verses 14 and 15. Even if we do face suffering for doing what is right, we are encouraged to trust God. Yes, times are hard, and our despair may seem endless, but we can trust God. For God is not a God who is far off, but rather close at hand. Jeremiah 23:23. The Son intercedes to the Father on our behalf, and the Holy Spirit dwells within us and comforts us. God has given us believers who we can confide in and share with. When we do experience troubles, we can share those with God, because God cares. 1 Peter 1:5, verse 7. So, as we go through life, however turbulent it may be, may we remember to trust God.